So the boss came in, right? So the boss came in, and before I went to talk to him, my homie told me, he pulled me to the side, and he was like, "Hey, bro, come here. I gotta tell you something, bro. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. So I'm just gonna give you a heads up. This guy's an asshole, bro. He's straight out asshole. He has no filter. He don't give a fuck. If you fuck up, he will tell you. He will throw it to your face. But if you do a good job, it's being fair to all of us. And you chose an equal opportunity racist. You know, you equal opportunity hater too. So don't take it personal. All right, guys. So first of all, excuse me if my voice is a little fucked up, okay? Because here in California, even though it's the beginning of May, the weather is out of control. You know, sometimes it rains, sometimes it's cold as fuck, sometimes it's windy as shit. And no matter what, even though, because I ride a motorcycle every day to work, I catch the worst part of it. So excuse me, I'm gonna take little pauses here and there to sip water, right? But today is the only day that I got a chance to make my video. So if I don't upload this video, I'm probably gonna do it again, but I'm gonna give it a try anyway. So we're gonna do what we can. So with that being said, so in the last video, I was telling you guys about how I got myself into landscaping, what situations led me to that job. If you haven't seen that video, go back and see it, because this video is gonna start right where we finished the last time. So you know a little bit of context. Go back and see that video and then come back here, okay? So as I said in the last video, I knew I was gonna quit that job. I not only knew, I was certain that I had to leave that job, because even though there was no future in there was not a lot of opportunities to grow there. And even if there wasn't any opportunity that I wanted to pursue. You know, it was, I mean, all my respect to the guys who do landscaping, you know, but I didn't see myself as a sprinkler technician or a project manager for a landscaping crew or whatever. Like I just didn't have the passion for it. Let's just say that. Eventually, I don't even remember how I got that job, but I got a job in a car dealership selling used cars. So I was like, okay, cool. New thing, new experiences. I'm open to it. I'm in my early 20s anyway. I don't know what the fuck am I gonna do with my life. So hey, what the hell? It can't really hurt. So I got into that job. I got a salesperson license. I didn't know that you needed a license to sell cars. Turns out you gotta go to the DMV and get it. So I got to the DMV, got my obviously my driver's license, because it was not until then that I got my first driver's license in California. I got my driver's license and I got a salesperson's license. It was $100, I remember. Back then, I don't know how much is it today. And I started working in a used car dealership in San Diego. Shout out to Siri Auto Group. And I was working there for a little over a year, I gotta say. And I had my fun, and don't get me wrong, guys. Selling cars, the fact that you're working in sales, it's just gonna give you a lot of set of skills that is gonna help you a lot in life. No matter what your trade or no matter what your industry, because everything in life is sales. I still use sales in my personal coaching business and even in my work. So if you're young and if you have the opportunity to be in any customer service job or sales job, please take it. Please learn those skills, because they're gonna serve you well in the future. But anyway, even though I got those set of skills, I make good money. I'm not gonna lie. There's good money. There's good opportunities in the car business, right? Again, like I say, it was not something that I just saw myself doing in the future. So I was there for a year. Like a temporary thing, you know, like the year went by fast, because we were working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, because it was from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So 11 hours, I'm sorry, 9 to 8. So literally every day. And no weekends off, because weekends were the busiest days, right? I only had one day off during the week, which was like Wednesday or Thursday. So a couple of things that I didn't like about that job. The stability, the financial stability. Like I said, there's good money that you can make over there, but that's just gonna depend on your ability and a sprinkle of luck when it comes to selling cars, because the reality is that it's not up to you 100% of the time. I mean, it's not up to you most of the time. It's up to the banks if they want to finance the person to sell a car or not. So you can only do so much. So sometimes you will sell 10 cars, 20 cars a month, and sometimes you will sell like a couple of ones. You know, it all depends on the bank's mood. You know, if they want to finance the guy or not. Or maybe you get a client here and there who wants to buy a car cash, and you know, easy money right there. But anyway. So there was no stability. If you sold cars, a lot of cars one month, that was your commission. You make whatever you make out of the commission of those cars that month. Or if you didn't sell enough cars, you're just gonna have to take your minimum wage check, because that's what they used to pay us. The dealership used to pay us minimum wage. Back then it was $11 an hour, I think so, at that time. I know, I'm sorry, it was $10 an hour. They were paying us like $10 an hour just to be there, just for our presence. And whatever we want to make as an extra, well, it's got to be commission. So I need, there was a lot of fluctuation when it came to the money, you know. So I needed something steady that no matter what, I was gonna get certain quantity and probably more if I work overtime. So that's one of the reasons why I started looking around. And another reason was, honestly, didn't, like I said, I wasn't passionate for it. You know, I didn't see myself with a suit and tie and, you know, being in an office all day with my coffee at 9 in the morning. Like, it just didn't. I didn't feel like me. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't feel like me. I gotta say that while I was in that job, that was one of the worst physical conditions I was in. I was totally out of shape. I think that's been the fattest I ever been in my life. And I've never been obese. I've never been a fat guy per se, but that was close to it. I was close to it in that job. I was smoking a pack of cigarettes a day at one point. Just in that job, you know, just being outside, waiting for customers, talking to the other sales guys, you know, you're just like chit-chatting and smoking a cigarette, yeah. And then because you get out at 8 p.m. and then you get to work at 9 a.m. the next day, you tend to get the habit of not even going to sleep early because you got all this time anyway. You know, you're gonna get up late. You're not gonna get up at 5 or 6 in the morning. You're gonna get up like at 8, you know what I'm saying, or 7:30 or some shit like that. So obviously I started partying with the guys in there. I had my fun. I'm not gonna lie, I had my fun. But you know, all those bad habits eventually catch up to you. You know, not sleeping right, smoking, drinking, or whatever. So that was another thing. I'm not saying that the trades, that the blue collar community has better better habits, but that's the way I saw it back in the day. So I was looking for other opportunities. So eventually, one of my homies came to me and he was like, "Hey, you know what? While you find the perfect job of your dreams or whatever, if you want to leave this job, just come down and work with me." He worked in a trucking shop. You know, they fabricate flatbeds for the trucks, shipper bodies, containers, that type of shit. So he told me, "Hey, you know what? Just come down and work with me. It's Monday to Friday. No weekends off. We do overtime, but you know, it's a fun job. You work with your hands. You work with tools. Why don't you just come down over here? You know, you learn a thing or two, and by the time you find a better job, now you have even more experience with tools and shit. You know what I'm saying?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." I was kind of excited, you know. So a couple of days after he said that, I went because remember I used to work on the weekends in the car dealership. So that was a Friday. By Monday, he told me, "Okay, let's go on Monday." So by Monday, I took that day off. I usually have Wednesdays off, but I called in sick that day. I remember, so I can go with my homie to the shop and see what it was all about. So when I got to the shop, I got there and you know I started seeing around. He was showing me around and everything and showing me a little bit of what they do. And I was looking around, you know, and you know, I saw everybody, you know, drilling, cutting, fitting, welding, you know, fabricating, doing mechanical shit with the trucks and shit. And I was like, okay, cool. This is something that I could see myself doing, you know, even though I didn't know, I didn't know shit, bro. A part of construction and landscaping, that was my only blue collar experience, you know. I was nervous, but at the same time, I was excited to learn those things, you know? So I was like, okay, I could see myself doing this for a while, and then let's see what's up. So the boss came in, right? And before I went to talk to him, my homie told me, he pulled me to the side, and he was like, "Hey, bro, come here. I gotta tell you something, bro, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you, so I'm just gonna give you a heads up. This guy's an asshole, bro. He's straight out asshole. He has no filter. He don't give a fuck. If you fuck up, he will tell you. He will throw it to your face. But if you do a good job, it's being fair to all of us, and it's just an equal opportunity racist, you know, equal opportunity hater too. So don't take it personal." So I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I went to this guy's office, I opened the door, and I introduced myself, you know, I shook his hand, and I was like, "Hey, good morning, sir, my name is Ramon. I'm Alberto's brother," because that's what my homie told me, you know, he told me that that he was going to introduce me as his brother so he could vouch for me and, you know, get the job for sure. So I was like, "You know, I'm Alberto's brother." And he was like, "Oh, yeah. He said something about you on Friday." "Okay, cool. So what's up? What can you do?" And I just straight up lied, bro. I just straight up like oversold myself. I was like, "Yeah, man. I mean, I know a little bit of everything. You know, some mechanical. You know, I got construction experience, landscaping experience, mechanical experience. I mean, whatever you want me to do, I can do." And the first thing he said, he's like, "Can you weld?" And I remember when he said that, like my ears got hot. Like I was like, "Oh because I knew, even though I didn't know nothing about it, I knew, like, just common sense. Welding is something that you need to prove yourself, like literally prove that you can do it. You can't just come in and say like, yeah man, I can weld this and that, and then expect them to believe you without even watching you. So I knew that it was kind of gonna test me, you know. But I was too deep. I was already too deep already. So I was like, yeah, sure. With a straight up face, I was straight up lying. And he was like, okay, you got some tools? And I was like, you know what, bro? I don't, but I'm about to get it. I didn't know if I'm gonna get. I didn't even know if I was gonna get this job. So, but whatever you need me to get, I'll get. And he was like, well, okay, no problem. We got Snap-on trucks and other tool trucks that come here like twice a week, so you can get your tools from there. So I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, okay, just go back to the shop, give me like 15-20 minutes. I want to watch you. I want to see you well, and you know, we'll see what you can do. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll step out of the office. I went running to my homie, and I was like, hey bro, check this out. Like, he asked me if I can weld, and I don't know shit, bro. And he was like, oh man, don't even trip. I just want to see if you can run a bead, you know, like one solid bead with the MIG machine. Just come here, bro. I'm gonna teach you right now. And I was like, okay, sure. I had no idea. Back then, I still didn't have no idea what welding was. But pretty much what it was is just a little Miller MIG machine they had in there. He set it up for me and everything. He grabbed me like 2 pieces of angle. He ran the bead and he showed me how to do it. He gave me like a welding hood, and I was looking at him how he was doing it. And he was like, that's literally the test, bro. Just do it a couple of times, and until you can do a decent bead, you know, then you're good. You know what I'm saying? He's not asking you to be like a professional welder. He just wants you to be able to join 2 pieces of metal together for fabrication purposes. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, cool. I was nervous, but fuck it. So I practiced like, I want to say like 10 times I ran the same bead until eventually it came like, you know, my wrist got loose, and you know, I was able to do like a flat bead, like a decent good looking bead. Well, my homie set up the machine, so that helped a lot, right? So next thing you know, said and done, bro. Like 20-25 minutes after, this guy comes in. I can see him from the other side of the shop because his office was across the shop. Inside the shop, across the shop. I was looking at my plate, and I saw from the corner of my eye that his office opened. So I saw him, and I see his fucking big ass white head come out the office, and I was like, oh shit, here he comes, fuck it. We're gonna do this. So I put that the pieces of angle that I was practiced on to the side to let it cool down or whatever, and I was cleaning my area, you know, just to get a new one, you know, and hopefully I can pass this test or whatever. But then he came in and he was like, did you weld this? This is you? Like, you grab it with a glove, right? And he was, oh yeah, I was setting the machine, you know. I just want to make sure that it ran correctly before we do the test. And they were like, no, good enough. This is good. You're good. You're hired. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck. All right, shit. Now weight less on my shoulders, right? So yeah, so that was my first day. After that, I just stayed because it was early in the morning, so I just kept working. We work a full shift, and I was having an idea on what they were doing. You know, like it was a pretty cool job, bro. It was a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. They used to take trucks apart, so a lot of mechanical shit. You know how to like disassemble things and everything, and then you know they had to design and fabricate whatever they want to fabricate, flatbeds and shit. And like I said, I didn't have no idea what they were doing, but I was trying to learn as much as possible. So the next day I come back, right, and I came back with a couple of tools, you know, a couple of wrenches here and there, and whatever I didn't have, and whatever tool I didn't have, my homie I could borrow it from my homie, right? So I remember the next day I had my first assignment, and I remember this guy came in. He brought a little tow truck, I remember, with a platform, with a flatbed on the back. And the client apparently wanted the flatbed. The flatbed had a sheet metal, a diamond plate on top of it, right? He wanted to replace that diamond plate for a new one because that one obviously was really beat up. He wanted to, you know, pretty much remodel it or whatever, right? So he told me, yeah, just cut this diamond plate out and just put a new one. The diamond plate is over there. Cut it at the right measurements, tacked it up, and then stitch welded, you know? And I was just like, yeah, sure. No idea what the fuck he was talking about, bro. No idea, but I was like, man, fuck it. So he went away, and obviously I went to my homie. Bro, that's why I love my homie. I ended up being the godfather of his first son. That's my compadre, by the way. Shout out to him. He was saving me for weeks, bro. Because as soon as he left, he told me what to do. And he was, so what's up? What did he tell you to do? Oh, he wants me to do this, and that. Oh, okay, so do this, and that. That's how I was learning. I was like, okay. So, yeah, man, just grab that diamond plate over there, take it to the sheet metal cutter. And I was like, what's sheet metal cutter? Okay, I'll show you. Look, this is how you use it. You cut the sheet metal, boom, boom, boom. All right, measurement, how to fucking read a tape measure. I didn't even know that. How to read a fucking tape measure. Guys, learn how to read a tape measure. It's gonna save your fucking life. And as I was going, I was learning, right? I was learning. You know, it was like, okay, do this, do that, cut this, do this, and I was like, boom, 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 boom. And then the guy eventually was walking around the shop to supervise the other jobs, and he would see me working with my brother, right? And at first he didn't say anything, but after a couple of days of watching him working with my brother, he started noticing that, you know, he was babysitting me quite a lot, you know. So it wasn't stupid, it sure wasn't stupid, but he would turn the blind eye on a bunch of things, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? So that first project that he put me on, total failure. Even though my friend told me what to do, when the time came to put the new diamond plate on top of the flathead, on top of the flatbed of the truck, I didn't know. First of all, I remember I put it on everything, and then my homie helped me to tack it in place. We tacked it in place. I didn't know that you had to turn on the gas on the MIG machine back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he used it, but one rule of the shop was turn the machines off and the gas off when we take breaks. So when we tacked the plate, we took a break and then we came back, and my homie was like, you know what? Just weld these spots, because he marked the spots where he wanted me to weld them, right? And he was like, just literally do the beat that you did that last time, you know, or when you did the test, and you'll be fine, you know, just do it, bro. And I was like, okay, cool. And I remember the first time I did it, I didn't know that you had to turn the gas on. I had no idea. I just turned on the machine, and I saw everything, and I was like full of porosity, bullshit. Well, then I was like, fuck. And he came in, and he was like, bro, you gotta turn on the gas. Okay, fuck. And so we start grinding it, we start fixing it, and then eventually I started welding. But I didn't know the heat distributes, so you can't weld around like in one way. You have to weld here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, so the heat distributes. So the fucking diamond plate end up warping like this. So this is the flatbed, and this is the diamond plate. So I was welding it around, instead of doing this, I was going like this, like a dumbass, and that shit ended up looking like this, with a big fucking belly on the middle. Before my homie could come back to me, I heard the boss come in and be like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, lift up my welding hood like this, and as soon as he saw him, I saw the fucking thing warping like this, and I even knew, like, fuck, I fucked up, and I didn't know why that happened. So I had to pretend that I knew what I was doing, but at the same time I knew I fucked up, but I didn't know how that happened. So you know what I mean? So I was like, shit, I'm kind of fucked, you know what I'm saying? So the guy came in and was like, this is a fucking horrible job, what the fuck is wrong with you? Literally like that, like with those words. And then my homie saw that, and then started walking in there, and he was like, oh shit, bro, let's just fix it real quick. And he was like, motherfuckers, fucking horrible job. And he just walk away to other jobs and shit. And I was like, man, shit. And my homie was like, hey man, you fucked up, bro, like you're supposed to weld it like this and that. And I was like, well, I didn't know, bro, I just thought that I had to weld it all around. And they were like, yeah man, but that's why we marked the spots, you know, you see these marks, you were supposed to weld it from here to here, and then here. Man, whatever, bro, let's just fix it. And which, you know, we ended up fixing it, you know. Eventually we had to spend like 4 extra hours in there, 4 extra hours to fix that. By the end, the guy came back, and it was like fucking horrible. And then he grabbed the hammer and stopped bumping it in the middle, because that's pretty much the way we fixed it. We got some tacks, we fucking hammered it flat until it was like flat enough to be welded again. So this guy came in, and he was like, fucking horrible. Boom, start bumping it, hammering in the middle to see if he can make it flatter. And he was like, just get out of my face, bro. See you tomorrow. And I was like, damn, okay. And my homie was like, man, I told you, bro, he was an asshole, bro. I told you he was an asshole. We're just gonna throw it in your face. And I was like, oh yeah, bro, but shit, goddamn, I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. Well, anyway, the next day, and that was a Thursday, I remember, and they used to pay us every week in that job. So check comes in, right? Check comes in. Now, mind you, my wage was gonna be $9 an hour. He was paying me $9 an hour. I remember. Minimum wage. However, I didn't know that this motherfucker didn't pay overtime. Because I thought, because that like that day of that project, we worked like 16 hours. Because we left the fucking we left like at 8, bro. Like at 8 p.m. We started like at 6 a.m. Like 14, 15 hours, some shit like that. So I was like, okay, I should be able to get like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like at least 6 hours of overtime. So I was expecting to see that on my check, right? And little did I know that the next day when we got our checks, I saw everything, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? So I looked, turns out this motherfucker didn't pay overtime. He paid just your flat rate, and that's it, no matter how many hours you work. I mean, he paid me for the hours, but it was all $9 an hour. It was never like time and a half. He was just paying me $9 an hour every day. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this? Like, is this legal? And my homie looked at me and he was like, bro, look around you. What the fuck are you talking about? And I looked, and then I knew it kind of hit me in the head, but I wanted him to tell me. And I was like, oh shit. And he was like, exactly. First of all, none of these people have papers. We all here illegally or in work or with tourist visa. So this guy's paying us under the table. He's not even paying us through a payroll. He's giving us checks. So most of us are Mexicans with with tourist visas, and those two old cats that you see in the back, painters, they already retired. They're literally getting their social security checks, and they're just working here for extra money, bro. Extra money under the table. So they're good. They're good. That's why they don't trip to making 9, 10, or 11. I think the guy that did the most in that job was like $18 an hour, and it was because he was there for over 10 years, and it was kind of like the know-it-all in there. He was like the right hand of the boss. My homie used to make like $14 an hour. He was there for a long time. He was pretty knowledgeable, but that's the way it is. I didn't know that. After I knew that, everything kind of clicked in me, because I was like, okay, so no wonder why this guy is the way he is with the workers, because at the same time, he knows he can be an asshole with them, and they're not going to sue him back, because none of them have rights, legal rights, workers' rights. And at the same time, he don't want to piss anybody off, because he knows that if somebody tips him off, if somebody snitch on him, that he's having a whole operation in this fucking trucking shop, he can go to jail because he's evading taxes. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have any OSHA permission, OSHA certificates or whatever, because nobody in that trucking shop was using safety gear. Everybody was welding with no sleeves, no leather, cutting with no face shields and shit, like painting with no overalls, and like a bunch of sketchy shit, bro. I learned a lot in there, but at the end of the day, it was like super sketchy. But anyway, I ended up working there like for 3 months, and I was fucking up, bro. I was fucking up. I'm not gonna stretch this story too long, telling you how much I fucked up, but I fucked up, bro. I fucked up because I didn't know shit. And it was frustrating because even though I was enjoying working with my hands. I was enjoying the fact that I was using tools to solve problems and figuring shit out. I was fucking up. I was taking so long. I didn't know what to do, and my homie was helping me. And there came to a point where the guy told my homie, hey, I don't want you to see you with him working. You're not his babysitter. He should know. He should know how to work. You just do your job. Eventually, even him, my homie and my boss at the time ended up got in a fight over that situation because he was kind of defending me. He was like, hey, what the fuck do you care if I help him or not? Even though, I'm doing my job anyway. I'm finishing my job and then giving him a hand. And the guy was like, well, fuck that, bro. That's what I'm paying him for. If he can't do the job, kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? So my homie was defending me a lot. But at the same time, I was like, no, bro, don't get in trouble. I'll figure it out eventually. You know what I'm saying? But I was fucking up a lot, bro. Because like I said, I didn't have no experience and no fucking, no skills, bro. I was a nobody. So one day, this particular day, this truck came in. Not even a truck. It came a trailer came in with a fucking cargo container. You know those big cargo containers that they have? And he left the cargo container in the shop because that container needed some maintenance done, right? So that cargo container had an advertising announced on it, right? On both sides. I didn't know that those were stickers. For some reason, I always thought that they paint the advertising on it. I didn't know that there were stickers until that day. Because the guy came in, the boss of the shop came in and he was like, hey, I got a job for you. Come here. So he took me outside. He took me to that trailer container or whatever. And he told me, I need you to remove the stickers on this trailer. And I was like, stickers? Like I said, I didn't know what I was talking about, because I was like, what stickers? I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, remove the stickers and then call me so we can proceed, because we need to do maintenance in this thing. And I was like, yeah, sure. So he left and I was like, stickers? So again, I asked my homie, right? Hey, man, he told me to remove the stickers in this thing. Yeah, the advertising is a fucking sticker that you need to peel off. And I was like, no shit, really? Yeah, here, have my razor or whatever. Go ahead and do it. So I got a razor, a set of razors, had a ladder, because it was a big fucking trailer, right? So I climb up there and start peeling up the sticker, right? Peeling up the sticker. I was peeling out the sticker. Eventually, I finished, right? I finished peeling out the sticker on one side. So I came down, and one of the motherfuckers in the shop, one of the guys in there, looked at me and he was like, hey, are you gonna do the other side? Because the other side had the same sticker. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you gotta do both sides. You know that, right? And me being, believing in him because, he's been there for a while. He should know better. And even at that point, bro, I wasn't confident in myself. I gotta tell you, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't trusting my judgment. But I knew that I heard the guy say, remove the sticker on this truck. He didn't say nothing about on both sides and shit. He just said remove the stickers on this truck. So I was like, well, he might be right. So as I was removing the other side, a big fucking sticker, right? I was removing the other side. The boss comes out to smoke a cigarette or whatever, and then he sees me taking the sticker, and he was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing and shit? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is he talking about? Then I climbed down the ladder, right? And I was like, what happened? What you mean? You told me to take off the stickers. Yeah, but who told you to take them off on both sides? And then, like, again, bro, I got fucking red and hot and shit. I was like, oh my God, I fucked up again, bro. In my mind, this is what I was thinking. I was like, I fucked up again, bro. What? And I was like, well, I was trying to kind of like de-escalate the situation, defend and justify my actions, saying, well, you just told me to take off the stickers. I only assumed that both sides. Yeah, on one side. I would have told you that remove it in two sides if I wanted to. What can you do? He told me this. What can you do, bro? Like, you can't do one fucking thing right. I don't even know why I hired you. This, and that. And it was like fucking like going off on me and shit. All of a sudden, you see my homie come in. And then he fucking stood in front of me, like between him and, like me and him. And they were like, what the fuck is your problem? And they were like, I'm not even fucking talking to you. I'm talking to him and shit. And then I grabbed my homie and they were like, hey, bro, come on, bro. Like, don't do that. And I was like, no, fuck that, bro. Fuck that. You got a problem with it. You got a problem with me. What the fuck? First of all, this motherfucker told him to remove the stickers and shit. Like, cause he knew. Cause I told him, oh, this guy told me to remove the stickers. It was not even his fault, bro. It was this motherfucker over there. Yeah, but I gave him the job, not to that motherfucker. And he's right. He's right. At the end of the day, you gotta take accountability for what you did. I was just a dumb motherfucker. I didn't know how to do shit. But my homie trying to defend me, at the end of the day, he didn't like the way he was coming across to me, because I don't know if he felt responsible for me at that time or whatever. But it was going at him, bro, and it was going at him. And I know my guy. He was ready to beat his ass because I was looking at his face. He was already like making a face. He had 1 foot to the back and 1 foot on the front, like just ready to swing. And I grabbed him by the waist and I was like, hey, bro, come on. I told him in Spanish, bro, hey, man, come on. It's not worth it, bro. Please, come on, bro. It's okay, I promise. And the guy ended up telling him that, bro, if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out of here too with him. How about that? And I was like, bro, you know what? No problem, bro. Let me handle this. Like, let me handle this. It's fine. He's fine. Let me handle this. Just go, bro. It's all good. My homie just went out, went back to whatever. This guy went to the office, and then I just kept doing my thing, I tried to fix as much as I did and shit. And then at the end of the shift, the guy comes to me and he was like, so who's going to pay for that? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, those are $2,000 stickers, Like, I'm not going to pay for that. Who's going to pay for that? And I was like, well, I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. Like, I can pay you and shit. And, so how are we going to do this? Because like I said, the customer already paid for a job. And now I'm overhead because of your mistake. So what are we gonna do? You tell me. Like, you tell me, what are we gonna do? And you know what I did? I was like, I had it, bro. Like, I was pissed, but at the end of the day, I was sad, bro. I was disappointed on myself because I was like, I couldn't defend myself. Because I knew, even me at that young age knew that you have to back up whatever you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to back it up with your skill. I had no skills to back me up. So I told him, hey, listen, Eric, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna pay you. I quit. Save my check, Just pay me whatever I worked till today, and that's it, bro. I just clock out. The guy didn't say shit. He was like, whatever, bro. And I just went to the office, told the lady in there that I was quitting, whatever. And she was like, okay, cool, but you're gonna have to come tomorrow to pick up your check because, I already closed the system or whatever and shit. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I ended up quitting that job, bro. I was disappointed on myself because, like I said, now imagine. I want you to imagine this. Think about me. Put yourself in my shoes. You're in your early 20s. You don't know what the fuck you want to do in your life. Whatever project you had, whatever dreams you had when you were younger, they're just gone because, I was not a trainer now. I'm out of shape. And the only thing that I'm trying to be good at, I can't seem to be good at. I'm just failing. And now I just laugh. I just got fired. Well, I technically quit, but I've technically just lost the very first job that I liked in a very long time. that I could see myself doing. So I was like, I was reflecting about this. I remember I was reflecting about this for days. I was like, wow, what the fuck I was failing, you know? Like, wow, what was the thing that I couldn't do? You know, so I was analyzing the type of work that I was doing and everything, and I was like, you know, cutting, fabricating, grinding, all that shit. Like I know what they wanted to do, and I know what you need to do, but I just need to practice to do it myself. That's the way I learn. A lot of people can learn like watching it or hearing it or reading it. I just have to get hands on, you know. But how am I gonna get hands on a job and get the experience if I don't have the opportunity to honestly fuck up a little bit? You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I decided to find a way to learn a trade 100% right, so I would never have to feel like that again, bro. I would never have to feel like I'm a stupid ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a lack of a better word. Like, I decided to fucking learn it, like, no matter what, but how? So I did my research, and eventually I found a trade school in San Diego, CET. They had a welding program. So like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I want to learn. So what do I have to do? I went to the school, asked for my homie came with me, you know, to the school. They gave us a tour and everything. They gave us like information about the program and everything, like what they teach you and shit. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. I want to do this, but how much is it gonna cost me? Well, the program is $12,000, right? Now you can qualify for financial aid. You can apply for financial aid, but let's see if the federal government approves you. And if they approve you, you don't gotta pay for shit. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. Well, I didn't qualify because according to the federal government, like, you don't qualify for financial aid because you make too much. So imagine, bro, if I'm making fucking $10 an hour, and that's too much for the government. Like, I don't know who the fuck qualifies. Anyway, they got me into another program where they pretty much loan you the money, and now you have to pay it back 6 months after you graduated, like month to month, like, which is pretty cool, you know. I ended up doing that, and that's how I started. That's how my welding passion started, bro. It started from my first job where I didn't have no idea how to do the job and everything, but I like what they were doing. So I was like, man, I want to learn this. I want to learn how to weld, bro. This is really cool. Unfortunately, it caused me a lot of bad experiences. This is one of them. A bunch of bad experiences, but sometimes they build character, and one thing motivated me too, bro. I remember the one thing motivated me a lot. I was like, I would never gonna give another motherfucker the reason to talk to me the way this motherfucker did, because back then, I don't care what anybody says. I mean, it's not gonna sound right, but it was kinda right in everything that he was saying. He told that I was like useless. You fucking useless. You don't know how to do shit. Your job sucks. It was right, bro. It was right. Like, let's just take ownership of it. He was an asshole, that's for sure. But he was an asshole, bro. I mean, he was right. That doesn't take away the fact that it was right. So my motivation in my mind was like, I'm never gonna give another motherfucker the tools to criticize my job and my work ethic. I'm gonna make myself useful. I gotta make myself useful. Because we're not entitled to anything. We don't deserve anything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta earn whatever credit you get. So the school seemed like a good opportunity, and that's what I started to do. Even though it was gonna take a lot of my time, I didn't care, honestly. But now I had to find another job, and at the same time going to school. So eventually I find another job, and this is the job, guys, where I learned most of what I know till this day when it comes to the trade. And this is the job where I learned my hardest lessons and my most valuable lessons as well. We're gonna leave that for another video, but just remember, just because you're having a bad day or a bad season of your life or a bad job at that moment, that bad job could be just the bridge you need to go from point A to point B in your life. You know, it might be a blessing in disguise. In my situation, if I see it like that, I thank that motherfucker, whatever he is. That motherfucker really like pulled that character out of me. It was like he called me out. He called me out on my inadequacies, in my lack of experience, in my lack of grit, in my lack of everything. Like, he pretty much called me out and made myself look in the mirror and be like, well, I don't know shit. You know, if I want to be part of this, if I want to be a working man, if I want to work with my hands, if I want to be useful, if I really want to be part of the, you know, of the work, if I want to be a real man, pretty much, like a man who works with his hands, if I want to provide for my family, if I want to be a guy that's worthy of a high pay job, I gotta learn the skill. I gotta take ownership, you know. I gotta admit that I don't know anything right now, so I can have clarity on what do I need to do next, what I need to learn. And that's what I did, and I thank him. I thank for that timeline, and I thank for that job, and I thank for everything, for all the opportunities. Because when I started going to school, and because I made that decision that led me to other situations in my life that made me even a better person, a better working, and even a better man, if you ask me.